Hello to whoever is watching, and welcome back to Talking Comics, the series where I talk about a comic without going into any major spoilers, and overall just give my thoughts on the story. Today I'm going to be talking about the Elseworld story that is Superman Space Age.
God, look up there!
What the hell's that?
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
The story of Superman Space Age is showing Superman's origin, but starting in 1963 and going onward, while also dealing with the fact that this version of Superman's world is destined for destruction. Meanwhile, his character begins to question what it means to be a symbol of hope for the world. Even though there's definitely similarities to the original origin of Men of Steel, there is slight differences due to the time period that the character's in. Superman Space Age is pretty fun, though I do have my problems with it. I think for the most part, Superman is done very well. He's still very much like himself. He wants to help the world, but also is scared that he'll do something wrong, or the world isn't ready for him, and that he's not ready to be that person. A part of the story that I really like is Superman's relationship with his biological father. It's an aspect in the story that shows his love for both his alien heritage and his adopted family. His dynamic with his AI biological father is just sweet, and the comic shows him learning from him as he prepares himself to be Superman. Now, I know a big complaint to this story is that some characters feel out of character, such as the Flash. I'm not the biggest Flash fan. I've not read much of Barry or Wally, but from moments that we get of him, he does slightly come off as a jerk, and I can understand being annoyed about that as a Flash fan. Batman is also slightly different in this, and we actually get quite a lot of him, as the comic also shows him becoming Batman, though his origin is slightly altered, or at least the way he comes up with the idea of becoming Batman. I do think we slightly get too much of him at times. Even as someone who likes Batman, I feel like they could have cut a lot of the stuff with Batman and gave Clark more time. The story deals with the idea of hope and focusing on hope and looking to the future, and how that's not always the realistic answer. The one thing I'll say with the Batman story is I like how it showcases Bruce and Clark's different thinking processes when it comes to stuff like that. The story also deals with the fact that the Earth, aka the universe this comic takes place in, is going to die. This is mostly something dealt with near the kind of lighter half of the comic, though I will say I really enjoy this idea of Superman needing to tackle something like that, inevitable death for the entire world. Something he can't save because there's no way to save it. Another thing about this story is that Pa Kent, Clark's human adoptive father, is slightly different from his mainline counterpart. He's a lot more cynical in this version. He's not exactly against Clark being Superman, but he's more scared how the world will react. The responsibility that will be put onto his son. He also tries to make sure Clark doesn't use his powers over time. Not out of fear, but more as a way to teach him to slow down and take time to think. The art in the comic, in my opinion, is really good. Some people will disagree with me on that, but I very much like the kind of old school superhero comics kind of vibe it has. Very Jack Kirby while also being its own thing. My only complaint I really have for it is some of the character designs I'm not the biggest fan of. Overall, I did enjoy reading Superman Space Age. Even with its problems, I still think there's good elements to the story. I like the way Superman is characterized in it. Though I will say, if you're going to read it, remember, in my opinion at least, it's not a perfect story by any means. Anyway, thank you for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on the comic if you've read it. If you liked the video, you can like it, or even dislike it. Do what you want. I have more comic related videos on my channel if you want to check those out. That's all, and goodbye.